the news of lobbying group and what they are doing in various places. We have all had the issue of lobbying that is being raised here and there. And people are worried. Biafrans are worried. Concerned citizens are worried. Even the one Nigerianists are worried. That is why it is important we look into these issues, discuss it, and broaden the discussion so that people can begin to prepare for what is coming ahead. The impending danger. Truth manipulation of Christian genocide. The truth is being manipulated in Nigeria, and Nigeria is paying huge amount of money to lobby groups to change the narrative, to change the truth. Truth is being manipulated as we speak before our own very eyes. And remember, the world operates according to interest. But the good thing is that when Chukwu Okike is involved, there is nothing you can manipulate. Truth will always remain the truth. You can cover it, you can delay it, but at the end of the day, it cannot change from being the truth. The truth will always be the truth. So we feel it is necessary we discuss this issue, the impending danger, truth manipulation of Christian genocide and U.S. politics in Nigeria. So while we are in this topic discussing, if you have a contribution to make, all you need to do is to send your request. I will bring you in when the time is right and you will make your contribution. Once again, I say good morning to every one of us, wherever you are watching from. I urge you to hang around with us, be patient, join us on this program. We are going to unravel so many things. You are going to learn, and we will learn equally. What I'm about to say concerns life. What I'm about to say this morning concerns life. Truth, the future of Nigeria. There is impending danger before us. There is impending danger before us. Not only the danger of violence, but the danger of lies becoming official truth. The danger of lies becoming official truth. That is something that every one of us should be worried about. That is something every one of us should pay attention to. And that is why I am here today. Today, I am speaking on how the truth of Christian genocide in Nigeria is being manipulated, softened, strategically rebranded, not accidentally, strategically rebranded, but through professional lobby firm, foreign influence, and political convenience. That is what we are seeing today. Lie is gradually becoming official truth in the contraption called Nigeria. And this calls for attention. It calls for attention. And more importantly, today's program, I will expose how U.S. politics in Nigeria, if left unchecked, could become a curse instead of a blessing. This message is not for hate. This is not propaganda. This is simply a warning that every one of us must heed to, whether you are a Biafran or non-Biafran. Everyone that is concerned about the situation in Nigeria today must pay attention, close attention at this point in time. Before we go further, please, if you have not shared this program, kindly like and share to other people to join us. Very important. so that this information could spread and get to everyone. On the comment section, make your contribution. If you cannot come up, write on the comment section, make your contribution. Tell us where you are streaming from and where you're watching it from. It is very important. Let the algorithm know this conversation matters. By the time you join us in the communication, you are writing on the comment section, then we know that this thing we are saying matters. And it's going to help to push the information out there for everyone to see and hear. So please like, share, comment on the comment section. Let us be clear. Nigeria is not just facing insecurity. Nigeria is facing a truth emergency. That is what Nigeria is facing. A truth emergency, that's what Nigeria is facing. When killing happens repeatedly, targeted at specific communities, and the narrative constantly reframed as clashes, banditry, or farmer headers clashes, something dangerous is happening. Take it or leave it. Something dangerous is happening. Because language shapes policy. And policy determines whether lives are protected or ignored. The danger we face today is, if genocide is successfully rebranded, accountability disappears completely. You didn't hear me. If genocide is successfully rebranded, accountability disappears. And that is exactly why truth manipulation is more dangerous than bullets. Truth manipulation is more dangerous than bullets. And we cannot stop talking about this, exposing it, calling the attention of the world to know what is going on in the contraption called Nigeria. Let us talk honestly. Government do not only fight war with weapons. They fight war with public relations lobbying and influence campaign. That is how governments fight. Lobby firm exists to shape narratives, influence lawmakers, reframe international research perceptions, delay consequences. These are why lobby firms exist. And that is what Nigeria is pushing for today. To shape narrative, that is why Nigeria is paying $9 million, the money that was supposed to invest in the life of those who are living in IDP camp, the money that is enough to return people from IDP camp to their various homes. Nigeria is paying that money to shape narratives. Nigeria is paying that money to influence lawmakers. Nigeria is paying that money to reframe international perception of genocide in Nigeria. They want to calm it down completely. That is why they are paying as much as $9 million. The money that is enough to change the life of those in IDP camp. But they wouldn't do it. Instead, they prefer to shape narrative, influence lawmakers, reframe international perceptions, and delay consequence. More especially, delay consequence. The government of Tinubu can pay as much as possible and continue to delay until when they are done and they leave office, the next person will carry the burden. Why the Islamization of Nigeria will continue to progress. That has always been the system. And today we are seeing it in the people. Nigerian government paid $9 million to change the truth. When a government accused of serious human rights violation hires lobbyists abroad, it is not to tell the truth, it is to manage outrage. That is what Nigerian government is doing today. They are trying everything humanly possible to manage the outrage because they know that the whole world is outraged at what is happening in Nigeria. Only somebody who doesn't have conscience, as long as you're human, you cannot see what is happening in Nigeria today without being outraged. The entire world is outraged and focused on Nigeria, and questions are being asked. But what we are seeing today is Nigeria is employing lobbyists, paying huge amounts abroad. Not to tell the truth, not to make sure the truth comes out, but it is to manage outrage. And this is how genocide becomes complex insecurity. Victims become statistics, as you see in Nigeria. What you see, the debate you see in Nigeria today is, oh, it's about statistics. Oh, only 500 Christians were killed, but 1,000 Muslims were killed. Only 1,000 Christians were killed. Oh, it's not up to 1,000. It is up to, oh, it's just 200. Oh, the Muslims were killed, we are 100. This is what you see. This is the narrative you are creating. Victim becomes statistics. That is what Nigeria has become. Urgency becomes ongoing assessment, which is where we are today. The situation of Nigeria demands urgency. But what do you see today in Nigeria? What you see today is ongoing assessment. They can continue the assessment forever, and nothing will be done. There was an urgency. That was why the United States of America went ahead to strike in the northern part of Nigeria at the base of the terrorists. There was need for urgency. And that need for urgency remains there. But what do Nigeria do? They go ahead to pay $9 million. And today, what is that money doing? Making urgency become ongoing assessment. What you see is United States now have been busy sending delegates to Nigeria, come and go, information that they already had on their table. Information that is already on the table. Today, all we hear, they are under investigation. Things they have seen and known and have been presented to them over and over again are reinvestigated. Nigeria will come and show you a burning bush. They will tell you they are after this and that. Some will come on their media and issue a statement and threat, while the terrorists continue to wander about. Bello Truji is still taking over territory in the north. In the same Sokoto where United States strike, the terrorists are still taking villages. People are leaving their villages, completely deserting the village. In the same Sokoto where the United States strike. What you see is statistics. You see there, Musa, the chief of the minister of defense, Musa, coming to issue warning to Gumi. When you have to go in, arrest, take him immediately. You don't need to inform him. You don't need to warn him. It is very, very clear and open to everybody that Gumi is a sponsor and part, planner, and informant of these terrorists. He didn't hide it. He didn't hide it. He told you that they are one. He told you that he is one with them. They are his brothers. That you cannot take them away, that they will always be there. So why are you coming to give warning? Why are you coming to make threat? Why? Why are you coming to make threat? The only reason you are seeing those things that is happening today is because of what the lobby of $9 million is doing. Genocide today in Nigeria, the genocide in Nigeria today is being interpreted as complex insecurity. That is the language they use today. When this issue started, Donald Trump was very head-on, straightforward. He never missed word. Genocide against the Christians. And that is what it is. That is what it is. That does not mean that the Muslims are not affected. Many Muslims are also affected. But the target is the Christians, which I'm going to play the video where one of those brothers explained what is actually happening. And I love how that brother from Yelwata, in their press briefing, how he put things together. Very, very straightforward. But the lobby of Nigeria 9 million have changed the language from genocide becoming complex insecurity. That is the language you hear from them. Victim today becomes statistics. They are arguing, oh, it is just 500, not up to 1 million that was said. Oh, it is 1 million, not up to 3 million. Oh, it is 4 million, not 9 million. We are talking of human beings. Initially, it was about urgency. It was so urgent that Donald Trump could not wait but to go for a strike. And that strike was a kind of a pushback a little bit. But today, that urgency has now changed to ongoing assessment. What you hear today in all discussions is we are assessing the situation. We are assessing the situation. That is the new language that the lobbyists have been able to get. We are assessing the situation. We are assessing the situation. And this assessment can last forever. And while reports are softened in Washington, people continue to die at home. Why reports are being softened by these soft languages, why they are softening reports, people continue to die at home in the contraption called Nigeria. That is the moral danger. That is the moral danger why we come out to talk and speak about this issue, to call the attention of the international community. That is why we are here speaking. And that is why you must share this very program. To send a message out there. You never know who can come across our program. In case they don't know the effect of the lobby they are doing. Why they lobby? Changing narrative, softening the situation. People are dying in their various homes. Let me say this carefully and responsibly. Talking about Christian genocide is not about attacking Islam. It is not. And this is the picture they continue to paint every day. Sometimes you see, they begin to paint this picture. That when you talk about Christian genocide, the next thing some people think maybe you are attacking Islam. It is not. It is not about promoting division. That is not what it's about. It is not. But that is how they paint it. They make it look as if you are trying to attack Islam, as if you are creating division. It is about recognizing pattern of targeted violence and institutionalized failure. That is what it's all about. When we talk about Christian genocide, it's simply a way to explain properly and make people recognize the pattern of targeted violence, and institutional failure of the zoological republic. How else are we going to say it? But they will try to preach and make people think there is an attack on Islam. It is not an attack on Islam. Will never be. It is not division. Will never be. But these narratives are being created by the government and their agents to paint it differently, to defy the attention of the people, why the insecurity continues to fester. When attacks are repetitive, when attacks are repetitive. Communities are displaced repeatedly. Justice is rarely served, and narratives are constantly downplayed. Then denial becomes a policy. This is exactly what is happening in Nigeria today. Denial in Nigeria has become a policy because we continue to see repetitive attack. We see communities continuously repeatedly displaced. And in all this, there is no justice anywhere. There is no justice. There is no justice. The only thing you see that the downplay of narrative every blessed day. And sometimes you see that the people who are being persecuted are even the victims. The victims are being persecuted. And that has now made denial to become a policy in Nigeria. That you go to all their media network. I am going to play some of their videos. All their media network today, it is about denial, 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 denial. None of them takes responsibility. Every single one of them, they deny the fact. They deny the truth. They deny what is happening. It is a very pitiable situation, but that is what is going on in the contraction called Nigeria. And genocide does not need gas chamber to exist. You do not need to see a gas chamber before you know that there is genocide. No. You don't need to see a gas chamber. It only needs silence, excuses, and global fatigue. The manipulation of truth extends the suffering of the people. The manipulation of the truth that Nigerian government is embarking on today only extends the suffering. That is why we have to speak up. Everybody must speak up. It doesn't matter the group you belong. It doesn't matter your orientation, your religion, your location. It doesn't matter. Now let us address the uncomfortable question. America has enormous influence in Africa. That influence can be a force of accountability or a shield for impunity. The influence of America in Africa can either be a force for accountability or a shield for impunity. I pray that their work in Nigeria will not be a shield for impunity. In the name of Chukwuka. When US politics prioritizes strategic alliance over human lives, pay attention. When the United States of America prioritizes strategic alliance over human lives, stability optics over justice, lobbyist briefing over grassroots realities, then that influence becomes a curse, not a blessing. And this is what we are speaking and watching out for. And pray that it doesn't happen under Donald J. Trump. We pray that this doesn't happen because this is where the problem lies. Just as I have always said, the world operates based on interest. We know that. The world operates based on interest. But when United States politics prioritizes strategic alliances over human lives, stability optics over justice, lobbies briefing over grassroots reality that they have already, the Donald Trump regime have sent members of the House have come by themselves to see things with their eyes. And yet, they go about to listen to lobbyists. Then, the influence they have becomes a curse, not a blessing. And we pray that that doesn't happen. Because stability built on lies always collapses. Every stability built on lies will always collapse. This is why we are saying what we are saying. This is why we are awake. This is why we will not stop talking. This is why we will continue to create awareness and speak anytime we have the opportunity to do so. Then that influence becomes a cause. If at all they begin to prioritize their own interests above human lives. We do not want the blessing of the intervention of the US to become a cause. That is our prayer. We never want it to be a cause. And I pray it will not be a cause. I pray it will not be a cause because we have seen this through history. We have seen that happen in history. What happens in Nigeria does not stay in Nigeria. What happens in Nigeria does not stay in Nigeria. When truth is buried, extremism grows, migration increases, regional instability spreads, global security weakens. The world must take note. What happens in Nigeria does not stay in Nigeria. It doesn't. That is why we have to remind them. This is a reminder. In case you think that what happens in Nigeria remains in Nigeria, it's about us, it's our concern, you're not at all, it doesn't affect you, it affects you wherever you are on the planet Earth. And that is when we make the global call, whoever you are, no matter your religion, no matter your location, no matter your tribe, your race, you are involved in this. Because what happens in Nigeria does not stay in Nigeria. When truth is buried, extremism grows. And as it grows in Nigeria, it is growing to the whole world. Migration increases. Japa is the order of the day in Nigeria today. People want to leave. Take a flight and put in Nigeria. I bet you the entire nation I want to leave. Everybody want to leave that contraption from Nigeria. Because of hunger, insecurity. Nothing works. Nothing is working. Regional instability spreads. The insecurity you are seeing in Nigeria is not going to end in Nigeria. The neighboring countries are going to have a taste of it. They are already having a taste of it. They are already having a taste of it. Those that have good government are kind of managing theirs. Global security weakens. And if you think it's going to end there, that's not all. Ignoring suffering today creates larger crisis tomorrow. That's why we must not ignore the crisis or the suffering we are seeing today in Nigeria. It must not be ignored. That is why this conversation is not optional. It's not optional. Everybody must engage in it. Every one of us must engage. It is not optional. And in this aspect, I speak to the policymakers watching quietly. We know that some of those policymakers are watching us. They are paying attention to what is happening. They are paying attention. Every single thing we are doing on social media is put into consideration. You're going to know that when I begin to play certain videos I will play today, you will begin to understand better. Neutrality in the face of suffering is not neutrality. It is alignment with injustice. You can't be neutral. You can't say you are neutral when people are suffering, when people are dying. You can't be neutral. There's no way you can be neutral in the face of suffering. It's not possible. When you say you are neutral, it means you are aligning with injustice. In the face of suffering, if you decide to stay neutral where people are suffering, you are just aligning with injustice. To lobby firms selling narratives, those lobby firms that are collecting money here and there, right, left, and center, they are taking money from Biafrans, taking money from Nigeria, cashing out as much as they can, and creating more problems. History does not remember invoice. History does not remember invoices. Never. It remembers consequences. That is what history will remember. History will definitely remember the consequence of the action you are taking today. Changing narrative. Hiding under lobby firm. You are hiding under lobby firm and you're changing narrative. History does not remember invoices. It remembers consequence. To the Nigerian government, the contraption called Nigeria, to Nigerian government, truth is not your enemy. Denial is. Truth is not your enemy. I'm speaking to Nigerian government. I know they are watching our program. Their agents are everywhere. And they will be able to take this message to them. Tell them that truth is not their enemy. Denial is their enemy. Denial is their enemy. To people who are watching, wherever you are watching us from, whether you are watching from Europe, America, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Africa, Asia, Biafra land, Nigeria, wherever you are watching us from. To Nigerians at home and abroad, do not let anyone gaslight you. Do not let anyone gaslight you. Don't. Do not let suffering be renamed out of existence. Don't.